should be working right now. I should be at the Capitol. I should be in a suit. Instead, Republicans sent us home because they would rather stand up for Donald Trump than release the Epstein files and stand up for victims. We could be in Washington, D.C., lowering your health care costs, lowering your grocery costs, and restoring your rights. I should be working right now. Instead, I'm pumping iron at the gym.
No, you're not really pumping iron. Just let you know, you had 135 pounds on that set you're doing. The plates are 45 each, and the bar is 45 for 135. Because some people ask me, Barry, how do you get to 135? That's how it is. The bar is 45, and each plate's 45, so it's 135. Which kids in high school are doing. Small kids in high school are doing. And he's acting like he's pushing some serious poundage. It's kind of embarrassing, Eric. No guy looks at that and goes, man, he's got something going there. You're embarrassed yourself. You want to show something? Put on, like 3 plates. Rack up 315 pounds, maybe even 250. And then, show everybody doing it. Plus, you're doing it on a squat rack. Those of you guys who don't know, or ladies who don't know, a squat rack is where you would do a bench press, but you're not really sure how many you can do, so if it comes falling down on your chest, the rack will stop it. Which tells you he's not used to bench pressing, because if he was bench pressing and he could do what he could do, he'd be on a regular bench doing it, completely free. These people are stupid. They're definitely stupid. But in any event, when he's saying, I should be working, I'm pretty sure if you wanted to work, you could work. You see, you represent the people in your area. You don't represent Washington. So you could be out right talking to people in your district, asking them how they're prospering, what they need to do, what you need to do for them, but you're afraid. You're afraid to talk to them because if they tell you what's happening, you're not going to like it. And that's what most Democrats don't want, and that's what most media people don't want. It's easy to stay in a bubble. But when you step outside that bubble, people are going to figure out you're pretty much an idiot.
Results will definitively be historically bad. He is crashing the economy in real time.
Donald Trump is teeing up a nationwide recession.
When Donald Trump is directly destroying the stock market in bursts of economic policy dementia.
This is economic arson. It's not a lightning strike. This is a guy setting fire to your savings.
Hi, this is Senator Alex Babiak here in Boyle Heights.
All right, so last night before the shooting and everything, oops, I said the wrong word for these people here. I was talking about how they've completely lost it. And every single thing they've tried to do for the last couple of months is just to light everything on fire and tell everybody, things suck. Trump is destroying the economy. And every single time they say that, they look stupid moving forward. But very few of them look as stupid, or have looked as stupid, as Senator Padilla here. Senator Padilla, the same guy who tried to barge in on Kristi Noem's event, the same guy who is, basically cried because he got arrested, or detained rather. Now he's making, as I mentioned yesterday, probably one of the best campaign ads for Donald Trump ever.
Just outside of downtown Los Angeles, in one of LA's most iconic, historic, and vibrant neighborhoods typically. But ever since Trump's ICE raids really began in earnest in early June, you've seen not just a drop in foot traffic, pedestrian activity here in the community, but all the business owners here have seen a significant drop in business. A lot of their customers too afraid to come out and shop, too afraid to come out and eat, like it's a cheese by the oro here in Boyle Heights. So for folks who are wondering what they can do to push back, what they can do to counter this Trump crackdown, you can protest with your wallet. Come support a small business, immigrant-owned business in these diverse communities as part of our pushback.
What are you pushing back against? Newcomers not being able to be in the country? People loss of business because they're not supposed to be here? They've been catering to an entire population of people who aren't supposed to be in this country? That's what you're pushing back against? You're saying ever since President Trump has done the deportations, people are afraid to come out of their houses? So what you're saying is ICE could just hang out in the street because everybody who traffics in this area, who goes to these stores, all of them are newcomers. You just told the world that your entire district there is nothing but newcomers because they're afraid to come out of their houses. Now the businesses are failing because they can't get any money from the newcomers. My gosh, you have to understand what you just said. Anybody else is looking at this going, so these businesses were only doing well or anything because newcomers were coming out of the house here. They were driving, they were making all the traffic, but now because of deportations, the streets are empty. There's no traffic. That's the objective. That's exactly what Donald Trump wanted to do. Donald Trump wanted to get these people out of here, and if they get chased into the closet and have to hide, then they can't come on the street. It's pretty much going to be easy. You've just told him, park some people out here, and most of the people walking up and down the street are probably not from here. You just made Tom Homan's day. You're an absolute moron. I could probably do it at this point. Tom, just deputize me. I'll hang out in the street because you just told me everybody that comes into this restaurant, because now it's empty, aren't from here. What a great campaign ad.
This one was a surprising one to me, given everything that's going on in Russia, what happened in Iran, what happened in Gaza. But the bottom line is Democrats in the American voters' minds cannot hack it. What are we talking about? Party trust more in foreign policy. Well, the GOP holds an average 6-point lead in the month of July. Look at this. Fox News came out last week, plus 3 points for Republicans on foreign policy over the Democrats. You think that number is not high enough for you? How about the Wall Street Journal? GOP plus 8 points when they match congressional Democrats up against congressional Republicans. The bottom line is this. Despite everything that's going on in the world right now, Republicans are more trusted on Democrats when it comes to foreign policy and the world at large. Trust more in foreign.
So everything you've been seeing in these other polls is pretty much crap, right? I mean, I don't put trust in any polls. None. At this point, even something that I thought was good, I can no longer put trust. I have to turn my back on you now. Because with everything we're seeing in this economy and how things are going, I'm going to have to tell you that it seems as though CNN now has a better focus on things than some of the people we thought actually had a good focus. Because there's no way with everything we're seeing that people are telling me or telling you, oh, we're not going to vote for Trump because, we haven't got the Epstein list yet. Said only idiots. You have no choice. You have no choice but to support Trump. Unless, of course, you are okay with your complete way of life just going away. That's your only choice. I don't like what Trump did. I'm not going to vote, which in essence is a vote for the Democrats, which means I'll probably be in a Marxist commie government really soon. That's your only choice. It's idiotic. It makes no sense. I would call all these people out and go, no, you're lying. I know you're lying. I'm going to tell you you're lying to your face. Because everything that is about your life, everything that you do for your family, for everybody, would be changed irreparably if you don't support Trump or whoever the next candidate's going to be. You don't have a choice. Makes no sense when you actually talk to people and just say, what else you gonna do, honey?
Policy, you go back to 2024, Trump had a 6-point advantage over Kamala Harris. Again, look at the average right now. It hasn't moved despite everything that's going on in the world. You see Republicans plus 6 points here. And this goes back to a larger issue that we have discussed over and over again here in the mornings. Despite any misgivings that the American public might have about Donald Trump, when you match up Republicans against Democrats, Donald Trump against Democrats, still at this particular point, they are doing significantly better than you might expect. And when it comes to the issue of foreign policy, again, what you see is in the American voters' minds, Democrats simply put can't hack it. More voters trust Republicans on foreign policy very much like they did back during the 2024 campaign.
What about the strikes on Iran? Because while they were being contemplated, they were not universally popular.
No, they were not universally popular, and in the immediate aftermath, they were not universally popular. Look at this. Net approval rating, U.S. airstrikes on Iran. In late June, the net approval rating, look at that, -8 points underwater. But as the American people learned more and more about it, look at this, a 10-point rise. Now,
So I mentioned this last night because that is a huge thing what he just said there. As the American people learned more about what happened in the Iran strike, it shifted. It shifted by nearly 10 points. Once they learned, so I guess what Harry is saying in front of the other guy from CNN is once they found out the truth, once they found out that, hey, listen, this was a perfect mission, and that this mission flew across the world basically in silence, showed up, did the job, bombed the heck out of Iran, turned around, and never lost a plane, never lost any soldiers. They all came back safely before anybody knew what the hell happened. But in the aftermath of that bombing, all the media and stuff were talking a bunch of crap. And so what happened? So President Trump, over the last, since that happened, people, quote, learned. Means they found out that the media is full of crap. And so all these other polls are going to do the same thing. The media comes in with a deluge. The media comes and says, bad, 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 bad Trump. Bad, 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 he sucks. And then people sit back and go, hey, it actually worked. Tariffs bad, oh, wait a minute. So he's 750 billion? What do you mean? They can't help themselves because their initial reaction is to complain and say Trump did something bad. And everything that he's doing, the problem that the Democrats versus the Republicans right now, and I won't even say Republicans, I'll just say Trump, is that they're so used to add water, instantly something's supposed to happen. And President Trump told people in January, hey, it's going to be a little tough for a little while. You remember that? It's going to be a little bit tough. And then when we get through it, bloom. And damn if that ain't happening. Hey, listen, that was April. Oh, things suck. Just wait. And now here we are going into August and people are like, oh, wow. Wow, 750 billion, 550 billion, gazillion, trillion. And people can see this. And so the problem the media is having is their initial assault is not sustaining the Democrats. Because people are living through the initial assault, and then they're like, okay, that hurt. I got to pay a little bit more for gas, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I'm settling into this stuff. This is looking good. I got some extra money in my paycheck. This guy FICA isn't taking so much. Wow, this is looking good. And so they can't sustain that assault, and that's one of the problems they're having.
The positive, the American people like the move that Donald Trump put on Iran, the U.S. airstrikes in Iran, a positive +2 net approval rating. So again, the bottom line is this. As the American people learn more about these airstrikes, as the American people compare Donald Trump and the Republicans against the Democrats, they see them far more favorably than you might expect.
Interesting and notable.
No.
Today.
What you meant was, as you might have expected. Most of us realized, hey, if he can do this, and this, things in a couple of months are going to be fantastic. And so remember, everything that you're seeing right now, it's been 6 months. I like people to project, like anyone in business and yourself, you want to project where you're going to be 6 months from now. At the rate things are going, where do you think Americans will be financially 6 months from now? That's something where people need to start thinking. Stop thinking about today and thinking, okay, 6 months from now. If January I was here, and if July I'm here, I expect to be here come December and January. And that's why I've been bringing up to you what's about to happen. We got the rest of the summer, for travel and visiting friends and going different places. And then people are going to dive into football season, college and pro, and they're going to be traveling and going to hotels and going to tailgates and everything. So one of the problems that the Democrats and the media always avoided, hey man, there's 100,000 people in all these stadiums. How can the economy be so bad if there's 100,000 people in Michigan and 100,000 people in Knoxville, Tennessee, and 100,000 people in the Rose Bowl on the same day? And then the next day on Sunday, every NFL team has 60, 70, 80,000 people in attendance, and everybody's screaming, and they just paid $200 for a ticket and $50 to park and the hat and the glovey thingies. Y'all ever take those pictures and think to yourself, how can that be happening? How can people be existing and having such a good time if things are so flippin' bad? So you watch what happens now. You watch when they're doing airplane flyovers and everything else and what happens come July. I can't wait. I'm telling you in advance so you can put down the binoculars and go, hey man, hey, there's 120,000 people in this game. Screaming their faces off, spending money, because every person that you see represents a per cap of X dollars. I'm taking the grandkids and Ashley out to a movie tonight, and it's not just a movie theater, it's a luxurious eat-in, dine-in, whole thing. And I think I told you we try to do the days of first. I'm not sure if they've been to one of these types of theaters. And when you go in the theater, it's like, wait a second. And then you click the button, they bring you the menu, and you can order your food, and you sit back and watch a movie. It's a great experience. People are spending money. It's Tuesday night. And today they went and did their stuff on the beach and had fun. There's people on the beach. As things move forward, it can only get better. Only.
He may be an area that is stronger for him.
What's the pitch? What's the policy pitch? How are you telling American voters you are going to improve their life?
I can answer you. Their pitch is, isn't Donald Trump terrible? Right. And that's what he's saying. That bill that just passed is bad. Well, what's your bill? You know, what are you doing? Now, I noticed that I noticed Bernie Sanders, John Kerry, guys said, we should have sealed the border. We made a big mistake. I go, okay. Now the Democrats have a plan. They're going to plan to admit they were wrong, and they're going to back that portion, and then I guess they'll focus on the illegal immigrants here. But no, nobody else followed in his wake. So they got 33% favorables. 33% of the country are in favor. So that's a panic moment. I remember.
All right, so if the Democrats are panicking because their ratings are going, tell me how at all it makes sense that Trump's going to lose the midterms. Something's not making sense here. And you're telling me, hey, listen, Democrats suck, but yeah, Trump's doing great, but he's going to lose the midterms. And then you hear this.
I, along with probably most people, was saying at the beginning, oh, you know, by the 4th of July, somebody had to think how the country was, the economy was going to be tanked by then. And I was kind of like, well, that seems right to me, but that didn't happen. Now, it could happen tomorrow.
See, there's another problem with what's going on with the Democrats is you lose whatever little bit of credibility that you had. You cried wolf. Oh, it's going to be awful. You're going to be poor. Only the millionaires and billionaires are going to make any money. Nobody else is going to make any money. It's going to be horrible. Hey, I was wrong. I was wrong. And you're starting to hear that more, even with prominent Democrats like Bill Maher. I was wrong. I was wrong. It only takes so many of these people to say I was wrong before they start convincing people, yeah, we got lied to. It's all over. It's all over.
I'm just saying, that's reality. So let's work first from the reality of that, not from I just hate Donald Trump. Because that's boring and doesn't get us anywhere and leads you to dishonesty. Because the truth is, I don't know what his strategy is. But look, the stock market is at record highs. I know not everybody lives by the stock market, but I also drive around. I don't see a country in a depression at all. I see people out there just living their lives. And I would have thought, and I got to own it, that these tariffs were going to fucking sink this economy by this time, and they didn't. So, you know, how do we deal with that fact? Because that's the fact.
See, that was one of the things I was trying to tell you guys a long time ago. I say it often, is the Democrats in the media, people like Bill Maher, actors, entertainers, athletes, they may be Democrats on the surface, but behind closed doors, they're Republicans. They're doing everything with their money to further themselves. They're buying stock. He just said it. He goes, the stock market's a record high. I understand not everybody else. Yeah, I'm buying stock, Bill pretty much said. I'm doing things. I'm investing. I want to pay less taxes. I probably have IRAs and mutual funds and all these different things. I'm using conservative financial opportunities to better myself and my family while I carry that banner on television. I'm a complete hypocrite. Because I need that banner because these crazies like what I say. But I'm actually doing the stuff that Donald Trump advocates for. Let that sink in. I've said it so many times, and finally somebody comes on and does a video and goes, yeah, the stock market's at a record high. You're not supposed to be doing that, Bill. You're supposed to be giving all your money away.